So the Rose Basketball Club have played in 2 games and it's not looking good for Lexie Hull. It's really not looking good for Lexie Hull. Like, I don't know. Imagine going from Christy Sides coaching where she doesn't really want to play you, and no matter what you do on the court, it doesn't matter because your coach doesn't want to play you.
In the brand new, unmatched 3-on-3 basketball league, Lexie Hull only played 8 minutes in 2 games for the Rose Basketball Club. Her team has 0 wins and 2 losses, and it's a coincidence that her teammate Angel Reese is attempting to record double-doubles in those same games.
She's back to mid-season form. She really is. She's absolutely delivering on that double-double. That's right. Points, rebounds, and of course, losses. Just in the same way that the Chicago Sky melted last year when her double-double streak started, she cost her team a game.
We're exploring this unparalleled mystery in depth. When Hull's play is ideal for 3-on-3, why is she riding the bench? Is Reese's stat padding more important than winning again? Prepare yourself for some harsh realities and eye-opening revelations about the true events taking on behind the scenes. Are you prepared to let them go?
And then eventually your coach figures it out and starts you and plays you 30 minutes a game and your team gets better. I think Lexie Hull is going through something like that right now with the Rose Basketball Club, because Lexie Hull has played in 2 games. She has played about 8 minutes combined.
Fans are baffled by Lexie Hull's current situation, which is bizarre. A 3-on-3 basketball star warming the bench in a 3-on-3 league. Let's go back a little. We're talking about an athlete that has competed internationally 3-on-3 competitions numerous times. And Hull isn't just any player. She's a bona fide 3-on-3 expert with Team USA gold and bronze medals to prove it.
Not only that, she's been good. Like, the problem isn't that Lexie Hull has been garbage. Lexie Hull has played well. That's the weirdest thing, is that she's actually played well. There is one issue with Lexie Hull, which is why I think she's not playing, but I think she has actually played well. And their team lost again.
Imagine how shocked everyone was when Hull played a grand total of, wait for it, 8 minutes in 2 games during the 2013-14 season. That's right, 8 minutes. Barely enough to reheat a frozen pizza, let alone show off your basketball prowess.
It's 2 games where other people got to play a lot and she didn't. So 2 games are 2 games, okay? And so for 2 games, we see Lexie riding the pine.
The 3-on-3 format should be Hull's playground because there will be fewer players on the court, giving sharpshooters more room to do their thing. And guess what? Hull has that amazing 3-point shot. In fact, last season, when she was playing with the Fever, she finished 2nd in the league in 3-point percentage, which isn't just good, that's elite.
People were commenting that, man, whoever, when Lexie's guarding the person with the ball, they don't score. They don't score because we know what kind of defense. We know she's scrappy. We know she slides those feet. We know she gets her hands on lots of balls, as she says, on basketballs. She's a lockdown defender, and we got to see that. Lexie can also shoot. So I got to ask too.
But in 3-on-3 1-on-1 defense, it's not just about offense. You need players who can lock down opponents, and Hull has that in spades. Her defensive ratings have been strong, demonstrating her ability to effectively guard top players. So we have a player with Team USA experience who has strong defensive skills and a deadly 3-point shot. Apparently, not everyone understood.
I don't need to stay here and be in Miami and just sit on the bench. Maybe that sounds harsh. And I am a team player and I'm willing to sit on the bench when it's time, if that's what's best for the team. But I'm just saying, I can't figure out why she barely, especially the second game, like nothing at all. Everybody in double figures and Lexie just sitting there because Lexie is not in the game.
Simply take a look at players like Kate Martin and Kayla McBride for the Laces basketball team. They're flourishing in systems that make good use of their shooting skills, and these 3 and D specialists are demonstrating what women like Hull can accomplish when given the opportunity.
Chisels out space. Money Martin. Oh, yeah.
You gotta love Money Martin. Kate Martin, just an excellent shooter. She runs the floor so well. One of the things that Coach Wade talked about was coming into this league being in shape, and Kate has done a great job of being prepared and running the floor.
However, Hull is warming the bench and her team instead of lighting up the scoreboard. They are now sitting at a less than stellar 0 wins and 2 loses, which is enough to make you question whether there is more to this story than meets the eye.
And we saw Kate Martin have one of the best performances of the weekend with a double-double at the guard position off the bench in limited minutes, where she did unbelievable.
To put it mildly, the entire situation is perplexing. Hull's style of play is ideal for 3-on-3 basketball, and she has the experience, talents, and resume to support her team. So, why is she riding the pine instead of winning? This isn't just a puzzle, it's a complete enigma. A player who ought to be dominating the 3-on-3 format is seldom ever on the court. It's like having a great quarterback who chooses to utilize them as a water boy. What is actually happening?
People are saying, oh, she should have never went to Unrivaled. I still think, look, she's getting paid, 100 and something K, at least. Could be paid up to $250,000. Her, she's everywhere. It's going to help her out. She drew the short straw with her team. The way the coach wants them to play is just not the way Lexie Hull is good at.
Let's discuss the current situation facing the Rose Basketball Club. You would think that having a guy like Hull on your team would guarantee success in a 3-on-3 competition, but if you're the Rose Basketball Club, it seems that's not the case. What's going on here? The Rose squad appeared to be adopting a strategy from the 101 playbook for losing basketball games by holding onto its player. In their first game against Vinyl, Lexie Hull was stuck to the bench. She showed us all what she is capable of by making a vital three-pointer while the team was down, but the Rose chose to double down on their head-scratching approach rather than build on that momentum.
The problem is that her team doesn't need 3-and-D because they rely on the double ball handler strategy, which is a bit weird. And Chelsea Gray again is just throwing passes anywhere. I wonder how many assists Chelsea Gray had. She had 6 assists, 3 turnovers. She is just firing the ball anywhere. I don't even know if some of these are passes. Some of those behind the back things. I don't even know if they're passes. She just I don't know if she's mishandled the ball or she's trying to throw a pass half the time in this. Chelsea Gray's distribution's been horrific.
What's even more perplexing is Hull's defensive prowess is evident in that game versus Vinyl, where she successfully covered Ryan Howard, one of the opposing team's best players, and helped make a crucial stop. But it seems that wasn't enough to get her more playing time.
But they play high pick and roll. Not necessarily just high pick and roll, but something into a high pick and roll, whether it be a handoff, whether it be some cuts, whether it be something, but everything is something into a high pick and roll and go to the basket, or clear out, cat copper, go ISO, or Chelsea Gray try back you down, shoot. Lexie Hull can't create for herself, and she's not on a team that suits that.
Hull might as well have been a spectator in their second game against the Lunar Owls. She hardly saw the court and didn't score any points. It seems as though the Row is allergic to winning or something.
It's clear Lexie Hull is doing well on defense, as well as anyone can do in this type of setting on defense. She's doing as well as anyone can do, and she's 1 of 2 from 3? She's hit a 3. She hit a nice catch and shoot 3.
For a moment, let's dissect Rose's game plan. In principle, it sounds fantastic that they are giving their guards priority when it comes to creating shots. But here's the problem. Successful 3-on-1 teams recognize the value of spacing and utilizing players' strengths with fewer bodies on the court. You would think Hull's sharp shooting skills would be a perfect fit, but nope, not for the Rose. Hull excels in a more structured catch and shoot role. It's like they have a Ferrari and are trying to use it as a delivery truck.
The way the Rose play is they have 2 shot creating guards and they kind of go your turn, my turn, and you have to be able to create your own shot with the way the Rose play. A lot of people are going complaining about the coach of playing Lexie Hull because Lexie Hull's coming in, doing a job, doing well. The problem is that Chelsea Gray, Brittany Sykes, Kat Copper can all create. Azare Stevens and Angel Reese's jobs. Angel Reese a little bit different because if she gets on the board, she pushes it a little bit and she can kind of go to the wing, plays a little bit of point center. But their job is to roll and seal. That's it. That is all their job is. They do some other things, but their job is to roll, seal, and handoffs.
Consider all the times when Hull's abilities could have changed the outcome. For example, when the team needs a 3-pointer to stay in the game, Hull is on the bench. When they need to make a defensive stop to keep the opposition from pulling away, Hull is warming the pine. It's similar to watching a chef refuse to use salt in their food because you know it would improve everything, but they don't seem interested for some reason.
Pick and rolls, pick and pops, handoffs, and every other player on the team has to be the pick and roll ball handler because they do not spot up. There are no spot up opportunities. It is pick and roll, hit inside, and yet they're shooting some they will shoot some threes. But look, as a team, they shot 10 threes. They shot 10 threes as a team. And almost all of them were off screens pulling up. They do not spot up as a team. So Lexie Hull, who is a 3 and spot up shooter, not a shot creator, has no role with this team.
So, is there a way to explain this insanity? It's difficult to tell at this point whether the Rose are playing a long game that were all too simple to comprehend, or whether they are simply making a huge error that is costing them their first victory of the season. But one thing is certain. If they continue in this manner, they might as well rename themselves the thorn in their own side club, as they say. Even if numbers never lie, it's possible that Angel Reese is only partially telling the truth because her losses are not coincidental. Let's examine what's actually happening.
Pulled right out of this game. Turnovers, fouls. It was a disaster. Old for everything, as one person pointed out. In the fourth quarter, so Angel Reese was 3 of 7 from the field. Once again, cannot get to that 50% mark. 5 turnovers, 14 rebounds, 10 points, and a big, fat, juicy L. 79-73, her team lost the game.
Reese strode onto the court and left with a dazzling 10-point, 14-rebound double that was impressive, but not so quick. Those impressive numbers came with 5 turnovers and a shooting percentage that would make a Little League coach cringe, and a whopping 42% sounds familiar. So let's get back to the stat padding.
Once again, guys, looking like a baby deer or a baby giraffe out there. I cannot believe that somebody that looks this uncoordinated is a professional athlete. It's shocking to me. She's really one of the few, maybe the only one I could tell that looks this way on the court. Just like out of place playing a game they've been playing. It's weird.
Let's now discuss Reese's style of play. It has been called aggressive, which is a polite way of saying that she charges the court like a bull in a china shop. She has definitely improved her footwork and can push the ball off rebounds, but her layups are, let's just say, still occupied with laying bricks, and let's not even discuss her passing.
You can imagine missed layups from last night. Man, I mean, what is really going on here? You see that, and then whatever that is. I don't even know what that was. One more time. Oh, my God. I'm going to drive to the basket, and then I'm going to mess the ball up. No layups. Whatever that is. We don't know what that is. They haven't identified exactly what the hell that is.
The million-dollar question is whether Reese's stat padding is more important than team success because, let's be honest, those double-doubles look amazing on paper, but what good are they if you're not even winning games? It seems like she's playing catch with herself while the rest of the team is attempting to win.
Leah Boston last night, making Angel Reese look like a hot.
Excellent job.
Right here, you can see it. And of course, Leah Boston plays for the Indiana Fever.
The viewpoint of a coach. Provide some insight into the scenario of stat stuffing. They noted that although Reese is demonstrating promise and attempting new things, her execution still requires significant work. It's similar to watching a toddler attempt to tie their shoelaces. A lot of work goes into it, but the outcome is a little disorganized.
So, Angel Reese went to doing some bragging last night. Growth of what? Missed layups. Yeah, her posting this, it backfired pretty good. Growth. 3 of 7, 5 turnovers, and an L.
However, this is where things start to become fascinating. Remember Lexi, the 3 honor specialists who have been warming the bench like it's her full-time job? It's easy to see how Reese's obsession with boasting about her stats may be directly affecting her teammates playing time while she is out there chasing double-doubles like they're going out of style. Hull is confined to the sidelines, most likely wondering if she wandered onto the Invisible Woman set by mistake.
How's that debut going for Angel Reese? The same old, same old. Reese finished with a Rose's team-high 14 rebounds, 5 turnovers, 4 fouls, shot just 3 of 7 from the field, 42%, got benched for most of the fourth quarter. By the way, when she got benched, the comeback was on. What does that tell you? And once again, she was getting layups underneath the basket, and I'm screaming, pass the ball out, and she would not do it. She would not do it. Her teammates just standing back looking at her.
You may believe that Hull's benching is solely related to basketball, but what if it's actually a part of a larger game? Let's connect some dots that will help you view Unrivaled strategy in a completely different way. Recall that when everyone believed that Hull joining Unrivaled was inevitable, rumors of a covert agenda began to circulate that Hull wasn't there merely to play basketball, but rather to entice the biggest names in the women's basketball league. Caitlin Clark.
When it was announced that Lexie Hull had signed with Unrivaled, there were people who were saying that the only reason why they wanted to put Lexie on in the league was because they at that time were trying to entice Caitlin Clark to sign with the league.
Now listen to me before you roll your eyes. Hull and Clark are more than just chance athletes who happen to cross paths. They are fierce best friends with a deeper bond than you may imagine. They have shared the court, the spotlight, and now they may be sharing a place in an unmatched master plan.
We know how that all played out. Lots of attempts to coerce Caitlin to play. So Lexie Hull got an invitation. Obviously, Aaliyah Boston got an invitation. And people were thinking, they're really trying hard to get Caitlin. No disrespect to Lexie Hull at all. But people were saying they really going all out to try to pull Caitlin in.
Let's put it this way. Unrivaled isn't only searching for talented players. They're also searching for stars who fill seats and light up social media. You guessed it. Who is the biggest star in women's basketball right now? Caitlin Clark. So if you're unmatched, how can you get her attention? Introduce her to someone she respects or knows, like Lexie Hull.
My thought was, this is starting to look like folks were right when they said they didn't really want to utilize Lexie. They just wanted her to try to entice Caitlin.
It's not about Hull's skills, which are, let's face it, pretty damn impressive, but rather her presence, her connection to Clark, and the message it sends. Hey Caitlin, look who's here. Wouldn't you like to join us too next year? That's where it gets tricky. If Hull's main goal is to be Clark bait, that could explain why she spends more time on the bench than on the court.
CBS Sports Podcast says if Unrivaled Rose knew what it was doing, Lexie Hull would get about 10 open threes per game in this 3v3 style of play. Embarrassing. Here's someone else, Jenny. Rose BC needs to utilize Lexie Hull. She's a defensive weapon and her 3-ball is a bonus. It's a shame she's bench riding.
In the realm of professional sports, more outrageous things have happened. And when you're dealing with a superstar like Caitlin Clark, organizations may be willing to go above and beyond. I get what you're thinking, though. That's insane. No team would sign a player merely to attract another one.
She is great defensively. She had great, great success as she was out there. There are things that don't show up on a stat sheet. Her stat line did not look good. Where's this? There's no stat for other folks didn't score while you were guarding, right? But the eye test. So hopefully the coach will figure out they brought her on here for a reason. She can shoot the ball. She can play defense. She should be getting minutes.
However, let's not overlook the fans in all of this, even though Unrivaled is giving Reese's stat stuffing priority. The more social media explodes with fury about Hull's lack of playing time, the more irate Paul's supporters become. Fans are urging her to be given more chances, particularly to shoot the sweet threes for which she is famous. They are complimenting her defensive prowess and praising her capacity to shut down opponents when she does take the floor. One fan put it this way quite well. They seem to have forgotten what H can do as a 3-and-D player. And you know what? They might be onto something, because if Hull is only there as Clark bait, using her real basketball skills might not be high on their unmatched priority list. So, where does this leave them? With a team that may view Lexie Hull more as a marketing tool than a player on one side, and fans eager to see her display the abilities that initially made her a 3-on-1 standout, she is caught between a rock and a hard place. Let's face it, people. The situation at Lexie Hull with the Rose Basketball Club is becoming a complete mess. Fans are furious, players are frustrated, and even Caitlin Clark is raising an eyebrow at Hull's lack of court time. Here's the thing. While Hull warms the bench, Angel Reese is out there flaunting her stats and losing games, enough to make you wonder if it's even on the Rose's menu. This is where things start to get interesting. The ball is in an unmatched court. Will they unleash Hull and give the Rose a chance to fight, or will they keep her sidelined to the dismay of basketball fans everywhere? Lexie Hull, please leave a comment, subscribe, and enable all notifications so you don't miss anything. We'll see you in the next one after you click the video on the screen.